Honorable members, may I, on behalf of the House, thank the President for delivering the second message of the state of the youth government system. Majority Leader, any indication, motion to thank the youth President.
Right Honorable Speaker.
Right Honorable Speaker, the House, I am Ajiman Victor, representing German South constituency. I rise to move the motion to thank the youth President for discharging his duties today in delivering message to the House.
Thank His Excellency the President. Seconder to the motion. Seconder to the motion. Thank the youth President. Honorable A-Viglo, please do as that one. Second the motion. Thank His Excellency the President for delivering the message to the state of the youth government system of the International Youth Network for UN Security Council. Thank you very much, Madam Second Deputy Speaker. Honorable members, I will therefore put the question on the motion moved and seconded. Members, motion moved and seconded that this House thank His Excellency the President for the message. All in favor of the motion say aye. Not in favor of the motion say nay. Honorable members, the ayes have it, the motion carries. Therefore, this Honorable House has now moved and approved the motion. Thank His Excellency the President for his second message on the youth government system. Honorable members, we move to the next item on the order paper, which is the youth budget statement and economic policy. The entire House will witness the budget statement delivery, will approve it, and therefore will move and adjourn this honorable House. Honorable members, this is the first time we are having the presentation of the youth budget statement and economic policy, and that will be done by our Honorable Youth Minister for Finance and the Youth Government System, Honorable Samuel Obeng Badu. Honorable members, may I respectfully now call on the Youth Minister for Finance to honorably deliver the statement. Thank you.
I, Honorable Brother Samuel Obeng, the Youth Minister for Finance, hereby presents to the House the budget statement and economic policy with the team miniature commencing budget. And so, Right Honorable Speaker, patrons, country heads, ambassadors, honorable ministers, members of parliament, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the youth president, His Excellency the last Justice Harvey, I humbly move that this financial policy of the youth government initiative under the auspices of the International Youth Network of the United Nations Security Council Resolution 2250 for the period of August 2024 to July 2025 be approved by this honorable assembly. Permit me to put forth for this first budget to this August House on the President's authority and in compliance with the working documents of this big project. Mr. Speaker, the President gave a brief but moving address to this August House on May 1st, 2023, the day this parliament was formally inaugurated. His speech also gave a general overview of his government's mission and courses for policy, the vision for trust for young people in Ghana that are very passionate about governance. I am presenting to you with this budget the strategies that we will take to carry out the President's agenda. Mr. Speaker, we will uphold the ideas of budgetary caution, accountability and transparency in our approach to economic governance, to be able to deliver on the ambitions of the Ghanaian youth across the country. We shall safeguard the common treasury by ensuring value for money in all our government initiatives, transactions, and exercising caution and discipline in our fiscal management. Now on proclamation on economic development. Mr. Speaker, the work that needs to be done isn't much about how well one does in speaking English or debating, which isn't even our mother tongue, but rather about the steps that need to be taken to advance significant and well-defined growth in our designated territories. I need deeds and not words, knowing for sure that every step counts in making the dream or living the dream that is bigger than life's dream. The first thing I want us to do is to establish the Economic Stability House, which will be led by the Deputy Minister for Finance and consists of the Deputy Chief of Staff, one regional minister, the minister in charge of parliamentary affairs, and the head of the Parliament's Finance Committee. Their main objective will be to write and submit proposals to raise capital for the Ministry of Finance to fund this youth government initiative. Starter Financial Summit. You may disagree, but the reason I gave this budget's name as the miniature commencing budget was that there isn't a set of amount of money with which we are to start out with officially. Nevertheless, in order to show Ghana, Africa, and the world at large that we are capable of doing it and doing it well, we are beginning with nothing and climbing to greater heights. As a youth minister for finance, personally, I am providing an amount of 720 Russian rubles to the Ministry of Finance as a foundational grant upon which we will develop. His Excellency, the last Justice, Harvey, the youth president, will also personally fund this fund with an amount of 525 Gambian dollars. We are also making every minister pay an amount of 45 cedis or more, and this from at least 50 youth ministers and deputies will amount to a total not less than 2,250 Ghana cedis. Additionally, we are also hopeful that the legislature will let each member of the legislature pay not less than 40 Ghana cedis to support this dream. This will also sum up to not less than at least 8,250 Ghana cedis. We will also ask the legislature to permit support for this enormous project from the regional coordinators, the board of directors, and the country heads as well. And that will sum up to a total not less than 15,000 Ghana cedis. If this strategy is successful and the parliament accepts it, and the government gives each sector 14 days to shell out the Ministry of Finance, we will be having a total of not less than 25,700 Ghana cedis. Now, policy initiative. Now, despite the significant obstacles we face collectively, Mr. Speaker, we are confident that with the right personal policy interventions and plans, we will pave the way for a numerous success and opportunities, alleviate suffering among ourselves, and ensure a bright future for majority of the youth within our various jurisdictions. The Ministry of Finance, of which I head as a minister, will not utilize a selection process when allocating cash to assist the project of any honorable member, although we may think about not fully sponsoring some projects due to the absence of sufficient funds. Therefore, the following policy actions are intended to enhance the business climate, foster financial responsibility, and encourage investment in vital businesses should Parliament approve, particularly in rural and underdeprived populations. For various reasons, some ministers and ministries will be required to work together. A budget allocation. The youth presidency. Mr. Speaker, if all goes according to plan, the presidency will be involved in a lot of projects. However, we hope and wish that the presidency will fund some of the initiatives on their own. Hence, a total amount of 2,500 Ghana cedis is the anticipated budget allocated for the presidency. In the event of an emergency, we will come out with plans that should be followed to make additional 1,700 Ghana cedis available to the presidency, making it a sum total of 4,200 Ghana cedis. The Youth Ministry of Finance. This ministry, as we all know, looks at issues related to finance. That is, monies received and money spent by all ministries and ministers, the Office of the President, the Youth Parliament, the Judiciary, and beyond if need be. The ministry also focuses on the mobilization of funds to support and also implement all budgets that will be approved by the Office of the President, thereby providing a system to support raise funds always by so doing management systems including laws, regulations, national policy statements, and national environmental standards for this youth government. We are the Youth President's primary advisor on financial issues or matters. We also have a stewardship role, and this involves taking a long-term perspective on issues related to finance when making decisions. Aside the usual reading of budgets and responding to various ministers and ministries and to Parliament when we are called upon, the major flagship project that we will be carrying out will be a cross-country tour to mobilize funds for the Youth President, the Chief Justice, the Youth Ministry, and that of the Parliament as well. We will therefore put together a team that will be made up of myself, being the Youth Minister of Finance, the Youth President, the Chief of Staff, and then the Member of Parliament for Parliamentary Affairs. And the proposed date for this project is November 14, 2024 to November 21st, 2024. Proposed places include Greater Accra, Ashanti Region, Brown Western, and Volta Region. The Finance Ministry will be doing this with the aim of mobilizing for funds from the various places and notable people to fund the youth government initiative, and proposed budget allocated to the Ministry of Finance to cover the trip as well as other administrative expenses is a sum total of 3,500 Ghana cedis. The Ministry of Education. Mr. Speaker, the Field of Education that focuses on teaching and learning strategies in formal education setting, as opposed to informal and non-formal socialization methods, as we all know, is known as education. And every child's development must include education, since it gives them the knowledge and skills they need to pursue greater responsibilities in the future. Unfortunately, it appears to be difficult to provide vulnerable groups with high-quality education here in Ghana. Access to a top-notch educational system for the next generation carries a nation's development. The future will shape opportunities and advancement in social and economic dimensions, since education lowers poverty, fosters economic expansion, raises the nation's GDP, creates employment possibilities, and enhances greater health. It is considered as a crucial investment. Mr. Speaker, you and I will agree to the fact that education can improve a person's self-awareness. They can get knowledge about themselves from books, classes, or even expert guidance. People who receive an education learn about the world, its events, and its inhabitants. People can better understand their strengths and shortcomings by taking advantage of educational opportunities. The Youth Ministry of Education will be funded to organize their proposed skills training program. The project seeks to solve the unemployment issues and equip the youth for self-development. It will be included that they will learn skills like how to do pedicure, manicure, ice cream, meat pie, bread, and all sorts of bakery and natural drinks. Total budget allocated to the Ministry of Education is 1,800. He is also to sell forms to participants and award certificates to the program's participants at a fee. The ministry is also tasked to pay at least 2,000 Ghana cedis back into the coffers of the Ministry of Finance at the end of the project. The Ministry of Information and the Ministry of Communication. We are all aware that the purpose for the Youth Ministry of Information and Media Relations is to facilitate the free exchange of information and feedback on our projects between this youth government initiative and the various policies for socio-economic empowerment and improve democratic citizenship. Whereas, on the other hand, the Ministry of Communication exists to support the creation of a dependable and formidable global communication system that is accessible to all honorable members and volunteers of this government initiative, and to improve the promotion of socio-economic competitiveness in the knowledge-based environment. The Ministry of Finance encourages these two ministries to collaborate so that the general public may understand why this youth government initiative exists, why we have projects, and why they should fund them. They must participate in more media events, and proposed budget allocated to these two ministries to cover these media engagements is a sum total of 1,650 Ghana cedis. The Youth Ministry of Gender. Mr. Speaker, very few men participated in the inauguration of this house at the time, in the year 2023. You and I can both agree that we need women in our midst. So the sum total of 770 Ghana cedis will be given to the Youth Ministry of Gender. The ministry will be tasked with meeting with the Women's Commissioners and the LSRCs at the University of Ghana, University of Cape Coast, and that of KNUST to formally inform them of the necessity of educating their women in order for them to join this government initiative. Now, Ashanti. Mr. Speaker, we hereby authorize and fund the Ashanti Regional Minister to hold two distinct programs for a number of reasons and for the benefit of the people of Greater Kumasi. One will be a public lecture for market men and women. The public lecture will be done to educate the women on what to do in prevention of fire outbreaks in their various markets and shops. And the second one will be a youth empowerment advocacy. And this will basically be about the youth taking responsibility of their actions, educating the youth on the creation of businesses for themselves and to cut down unemployment in this country. The minister is charged to issue certificates to participants, and that will attend the program at a cost of 30 cedis or more, should a need be to be increased. The ministry is to write for sponsorship as well to cover that program, and an amount of 1,150 will be made available to the ministry to fund this project, and he is to fund the Ministry of Finance with an amount of 1,400. The Ministry of Employment and Labour Relations. Mr. Speaker, this is another way to raise money. The Ministry of Employment and Labour Relations is also to host a public lecture on the conditions of unemployment in Ghana. He is also tasked for awarding certificates to the program's participants at a fee. A total amount of 500 Ghana cedis from the budget will be allocated to the Ministry of Employment and Labour Relations. As instructed by the Ashanti Regional Minister, the program's revenues must be deposited into the Finance Ministry's account. Upper East Region. Mr. Speaker, youth in the Upper East Region of Ghana are currently suffering as a result of the serious issues, and so I believe are other regions. Lack of access to high quality education and vocational training is one of the main issues that the young people in these areas must deal with. Numerous factors contribute to this problem, include insufficient educational resources, inadequate educational facilities, and lack of knowledge about alternative job choices. As a result, a lot of young people are outraged and unable to find long-term career options, which which perpetuates the cycle of poverty and offers little opportunities for personal development. Mr. Speaker, the regional minister suggested that the Upper East region adopt a comprehensive program for the youth empowerment and skill training. The following will be the program's main goal: building the infrastructure for education, spend money on constructing and renovating educational institutions, including schools, libraries, and career centers. The kids will have a better access to chance for skill training and high-quality education as a result. Improve learning and teaching resources by giving schools the textbooks, instructional materials, and technological resources they need. You can make sure that these kids when these kids have access to most of these things, they will do better. Promoting vocational training and alternative career paths. The minister will hold workshops on career counseling and vocational training to introduce young people to a variety of professions. This will enable kids to discover and follow interests outside of the realm of standard academic pathways. Mr. Speaker, all these are excellent, but we wish to state categorically that for some reason, these programs raised by the minister may not be funded by this budget. However, subsequent budgets, this is going to be our priority. The Ministry of Defense. Under the Youth Government Initiative, the Youth Ministry of Defense works to guarantee that the young people of the Republic of Ghana are capable and active, and that they help to maintain peace in the nation. With so much that we have accomplished and still need to do, we have created a list of our goals, and several are currently in the pipeline. Mr. Speaker, in senior high schools in Sunyani, the Bono region, and perhaps other regions where any of the deputies reside, the ministry intended to organize and include the young in peace activities. To carry out this project, we will work together with the security organizations, youth organizations, and the National Youth Authority. There will be an MOU in Accra with the Premier TV and FM. A deal was reached in 2021. However, the signing of the MOU was postponed due to some reasons. The arrangement was that every program and initiative of the ministry works on will be live shots by Premier TV and FM. This will be an excellent idea, and we wish to support to make it a reality. Directly communicating with officials, in particular, the Youth Minister for Defense of the Republic of Ghana, will carry out these projects. Mr. Speaker, we want to finance this project because we think of all these are good programs. A total amount of 1,570 Ghana cedis will be made available to the Ministry of Rural Development. You and I agree to the fact that the public addresses turned out to be excellent. The importance of the railway and reasons why the public should use it will be the subject of a public lecture by the Ministry of Rural Development as well. And as the Ashanti Regional Minister was instructed, the Minister is charged with issuing certificates to participants that will attend the program at a cost. The Minister should write for sponsorship as well to cover that program. However, a total amount of 700 Ghana cedis will be made available should this budget get approved to the Ministry. The Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs. Between Ghana's President and Parliament, and so as this youth President and that of this youth Parliament, the Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs acts as a middleman. In his capacity as a member of Parliament and the majority leader of the House, the Minister runs for office as a leader of government business in Parliament. He also runs for office as Minister of Parliamentary Affairs at Cabinet and alongside the President. He is essentially the link between government and Parliament. As a Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, the Youth Minister or the Youth Ministry will be organizing an orientation on the connection between these two branches of government for youth ministers and lawmakers and youth lawmakers. This will help participants in the youth government system better grasp the friendly relationship between the two arms as they develop their capacity. Seminar on the functions of the parliamentary members and ministers of state, who is the developer and also the lawmaker. And these are programs that the ministry can see, in my opinion. There are knowledge-intensive programs rather than capital-intensive ones, as the minister indicated in his official document that was sent to the Ministry of Finance through the Office of the Chief of Staff. We finally allocate a total amount of 2,850 Ghana cedis to this ministry, out of which 1,450 must get to the office of the President for his official duties. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, the world appears to be slipping from one global crisis to the next as a result of the current extreme suffering. Growing energy costs and sky-high housing expenses. Young people are being particularly hard hit by the need to make ends meet and secure basic requirements like a warm home, a good education, and respectable employment, of which the Youth Minister of Finance is not an exception, in a situation whereby he has been unemployed for the past 1.5 years. We have, however, seen how rising fuel prices have rendered some individuals unable to afford even food to eat or even hope for the future. But instead of being seated and doing nothing, we as young people ought to act. And we are ready to act now. Although the implementation of numerous programs and initiatives, our lower communities will start to see a more focused and ongoing effort to improve their lives. We are confident and very confident that with the help of the all-powerful God, we can carry out all of the carefully considered programs and policies stated in this budget. Living the dream bigger than life's dream. Raise the flag of Ghana high and one with Africa advance. Black star of hope and honor to all who test for liberty, where the banner of Ghana flames rise. May the way of freedom and development truly lies. All rise, sons of Ghana land, and under God march on, knowing for sure that every moment matters, and so every step counts. God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong. Mr. Speaker, I so move.